Took long enough. I didn't think we were going to get to today. Been really wanting to do this, and yeah, I'm actually really unprepared. I don't know what we're even going to talk about. We'll talk about shit. I got a couple topics we can delve into. Otherwise, leave your comments or whatever, and we'll jump right through them and all that kind of good stuff. What's going on, Lewis? Lewis? I don't know. Putting in some tunes. What are we going to listen to? Witch Trap, Trap the Witch. I don't know. I can't stop listening to it. So we're going to jam it. Let me just skip this first track. Lemmy. Yeah. Anyway. What do you guys want to know? What do you want to talk about? You think I would have prepared a little harder for this, but I didn't. So, whatever. I've been fighting my unsightly blemishes. So, whatever. I heard about the Inquisition thing, man. Well, that was definitely not something I was prepared for, I'll say that. But, yeah. Whatever. Been running around all day, so it's kind of hard for me to process everything that's happened. There's just so much crap going on right now. Anyway, anything? Because I'm going to start talking about one of the two topics I have. You don't like Witch Trap? You're crazy. Sorry. I think Hell's Headbangers just put out their re-released their '07 album, which I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. So that'd be definitely a fun thing to go pick up. This is even more boring than last week. Good God. At least I'm not stringing up a guitar this time. Whatever. If I don't see your comment, by the way, it's flashing up really quick and then leaving. Everyone's wanting me to talk about Inquisition. So I'm like, wait a minute. Let's wait a minute, because I still need to gather my thoughts on that. I've been trying to do that since it happened. I pretty much got home at 5 o'clock, and that's about when I heard about it, so it's just been kind of, I don't know about it yet. Love this riff. Good stuff. Anyway, do all four of you want to see my precursor to my YouTube channel? If you've been around since the early days, you probably saw it. It's nothing really special. This is just kind of something I was doing as a project in the, just to pass the time or whatever. I was just making some mixtapes, and that's kind of like why I named the live stream what it is. But anyway, there's I don't know. I just kind of made these two kind of I guess it's trying to mimic those, weekend, midnight, metal radio shows that they would have. Because they would always come on really, really late. And, I lost my train of thought. Oh, they come on really late, and that's the only time you'd have it to be on the weekend or some, like, random off day, like a Tuesday or something. And that was just kind of to go do my own version of that. This is, when I still didn't have internet, man. I didn't have internet up until probably 2014 or 15. What little bit I could get, it was not very good, so I just started making these tapes. It was, like I said, I mean, you could tell it's the, it was just basically me talking and then DJing and then just playing some songs. I only made 5 of them, unfortunately, but I was doing them every Friday night. It was like well after midnight when I would do it. It was just kind of getting the feel of that, but I only made 5. It was just kind of a fun thing. This is what I was doing probably a year or no, let's see. It was about 2 years before I started doing YouTube. What's this one got on it? We got Severed Savior, Morbid Angel, Autopsy, Defeated Sanity, Cephalotripsy, whatever. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of thought I would do these for a while and then start copying them and that kind of thing. Did I play in Midnight during Midnight? No. This is actually before I was even listening to Midnight. What's the most recent one? We'll just cut to this one. Zach I've been slacking on it for a while. What is on this? Mortician, Wormed, Grave, Deeds of Flesh, Dark Throne, Asphyx, Massacre. There's some decent stuff on here. Exhumed. But it's mostly like the newer stuff, like Mayhem, it's Psywar, like the one good at. I mean, I don't. What was the name of that fucking album? Esoteric Warfare. It wasn't a horrible one, but, you know, I picked the one good song on there that I really loved. The rest of it was okay. It wasn't a horrible album, but it was just okay. Yeah, so we're just rambling on this. I don't know, but I believe there is a video way back when, at least it's 2 years old by now, of me showing these off, but it was the tape collection I had at the time, which was probably this little sliver right here, and that would have been all I had then. A Full Metal Ginger mixtape, I don't know. There's playlists, you know, if you want to go check that out. This would be on it. That's, what is this? Power of the Mall. Just do me a favor. When this is over, go listen to this song. Go listen to this album if you haven't already. This is wonderful shit, man. Let me drink my death drink. Alright, I'm getting a lot of comments about Inquisition. I just kind of want to give other people a chance to get on here, but since no one else is coming, which is fine, we'll talk about it. Let me spit this gum out. So, I don't know, man. Inquisition being one of my favorite bands. I mean, I still got the flags hanging up. If all this is true, then, yeah, I will no longer support the band in any regard, obviously. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not like I'm not one of those that's going to claim to be a true cold black metal fan, because I'm not. I like black metal. But, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's such a weird argument. I guess I can't even say that, man. See, that's what I want to talk about it. I don't want to say I don't want to support the band, because, I mean, I have a child. I mean, there's so many factors going into this. Everyone wants to jump into everything's either black or white, and no one wants to look at gray area on any subject, but here it is. I don't condone what he did if he did it, but at the same time, it's like no one, you know, shits all over Emperor, where Faust killed a guy. No one shits all over Varg for killing Euronymous. Now, I guess you could say that pedophilia is worse than murder, which I would say it is, but it's still, you know what I'm saying? It's still a messed up thing. But again, you know, I don't condone anything that any of these dudes did. The best way I can explain it is I look at a band not as the people behind it so much as it's kind of like its own entity. Like, for example, to me, there's Glenn Benton, the person, and then there's Deicide, the band. They're two totally different things. A lot of people hate Deicide because they can't stand Glenn Benton, which I can understand where they're coming from, but, you know, it's... I don't understand when the band is not Glenn Benton, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, too, just because... God damn it. See, I'm terrible, man. This is why I have such a hard time doing these videos to begin with. And this is completely unscripted and not focusing on anything in particular, and I can't even pull this off. How am I going to word this? By the way, hopefully next week we're going to have a guest. That would make it so much easier. I know I'm getting to the point. I'll get to it eventually. I mean, that's just kind of how I look at a band, you know. I look at a band as something separate from the people behind it. Yes, the people behind it are there to make it happen, and without them it wouldn't happen. But it's almost like it becomes its own kind of, I don't want to say mystical thing, but it's almost like you have these people, it's like a piece of art from a artist that no one ever knew. Okay, You don't know his name, you don't know or her name, or where they came from or what they were in life. I mean, let's say this is 200 years after they've died. You have their art, and everyone loves and appreciates their art. You might not necessarily even know who the person is, or what kind of person they were, or if they're a piece of shit, or a saint, or whatever you want to call it. So that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't really hate a band for what the members do or how they are perceived or how they act. I just kind of withhold judgment. Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I look at it. I hope that makes sense. Leave a comment if that makes sense. I mean, that was an awful lot of retarded rambling, so whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it right now. I don't even know. Oh, you sewed one on your jacket, man. I've got one on my jacket. I've got 2 flags hanging up. I've got 2 or 3 records. I have 3 CDs. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, look, did that make sense at all? I hope it made sense. Anything I said right then. I mean, and all that incoherent, rambling, I think I somewhat got to a point in there. So, yeah, I have no skill in carrying this by myself whatsoever. That's kind of why I did the guitar last week, just to, Anyway. But if we do have a guest next week, which this is the kind of person that you'll call them, are you coming? Yeah. You sure you're going to be there? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on my way. 5 hours later, where you at? What do you mean? If you even get a response. So I'm not going to confirm it yet. But if he is here, is one of my good friends. I've known him for a long time, and we'll do some storytelling and all that, and this will be a lot less boring, I should hope. So I'm trying to get to your comments. I don't know. I don't have I need something else to catch all this feed, because it's appearing and it'll disappear within a second. Anything you want to know? Anything at all? In the meantime, yeah, do a live stream. That'd be cool. I'd jump on there with you, to be honest with you. Maybe I should start doing this, just bringing people on. So, whatever. In the meantime, I really didn't want to do a video about this, because everyone's kind of starting it. But where DVDs are getting so cheap now, I've started to get into them lately. Not get into them, but starting to find some decent stuff that I've been looking for a long time. And actually, Big Lots and Dollar General have been where I've scored some big prizes as of late, which is amazing. Let's see, what did I get last week? Okay, let me get it. This is what I got last week. Now, unfortunately, it came with another crappy additional version, but here we have the original Ninja Turtles with the 2007. I'm not even going to watch that. I might check it out just to see if it's decent, which it probably isn't. But you're still not going to beat the original. And also got Die Hard, which is awesome. So that's kind of like what I'm into, man. Mostly, I would say comedy number one, and me and my friend Kyle, which I would love to have him on the live stream as well at some point, but we're really into spoof movies, and just there's just certain things about certain movies that we love, and I talked about it last week with the Simpsons and stuff like that, so if I can get him on, we'd definitely discuss that for a good hour or more. But yeah, between that, 80s slasher movies, just horrible crap like that. Yeah, Smokey and the Bandit, that's in here too. But 80s slasher films, they're just crappy looking. They're almost funny. They're so bad. And 80s action movies and feel-good movies, man. I would love to pick up anything that kind of gives me a nostalgic feel for something that I, watched as a kid. Dude, I'm telling you, you'll think I'm nuts because it's a horrible, horrible movie. But I would love to have Three Ninjas. Bet your ass I would. I would have that motherfucker right here, and I'd watch it all the time. I wouldn't watch it all the time. I'd watch it once, and God, this is awful. Throw the damn thing. I want Surf Ninjas, too. Surf Ninjas rules. I don't know how many of you are 90s kids, but there's definitely a big craze of ninja shit back then, especially in the early 90s. Yeah, man, who doesn't want, Karate Kid and all that? Yeah, it was. Three Ninjas was godly. You goddamn right. Low budget horror, that's what I'm starting to get into. Oh, I was going to show you what I got today. So I was in the Big Lots last week and I got Die Hard and the Turtles. And I found these two and I was like, they're cheap, but I'm going to save them because I'd already spent too much money that day. And here's what I got. So first, I haven't even opened this yet. I'm going to watch it tomorrow. Here's Friday the 13th Part 3. $5. In 3D, comes with 3D glasses, so which I probably won't use. They're not really necessary. Not with this movie, anyway. If I had like a big TV, it would help. It's like a little 40-inch or it's a 48-inch. So I got that, and I don't know how you guys feel about this movie. This is one of my all-time favorites, which is not something that you'd hear many people say. But Behind Enemy Lines, the first one, the only one that's any way worth a damn. I'm not a big fan of Owen Wilson at all, and I think he's just okay in this. I don't know, there's just something about it. It just reminds me of the woods around my house and where I grew up. And my brothers and I would always run through all the hollows and down through all the hills and through the woods just playing war and stuff. I mean, when we don't have it. We seriously grew up way out in the woods. We didn't have anything else to do. So this would be one of the things we did. It just kind of reminded me of the landscape around my house. I mean, it does have commentary on here, so I'd love to see where this is filmed. And I don't think it's Bosnia, obviously, but I don't know. It's just I watch this a lot. It's a very it's a movie that I like to watch around Christmas break, somewhere in there. And I have the tape somewhere, but I was like, okay, eventually it's just going to screw up, and I'm going to end up chucking it. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and get this. I mean, it's $3. You can't beat that. I wish I had the tape. The tape is in here somewhere, the VHS tape. And I've watched it, like I said, 1,000 times. I don't know. There's just something about that movie that's just really interesting for me. If I'm not getting to your questions or comments or anything, I swear, last time I went back and read every single one. I appreciate every one of you for doing this. I'm new to this. I don't even know what to do. I'm trying to watch both and then kind of ramble. Let me see if I can find this movie. It's over here somewhere. I'm probably wrong, but I think it's over here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, man, old school. So there's the VHS. It's definitely been played quite a bit. It's actually not too beat up or anything. VHS, man, classic. Like, again, I don't know how many of you are youngins, but you'll never understand getting charged 50 cents for not rewinding the tape when you brought it back. And that's one thing. If I could have one thing in this generation that we had when I was a kid, would be video stores and rentals. Like, I was seriously, if they came up to me right now and said, do you want to do away with movie streaming? I'd say, yeah, let's just do it. Because it was just so much fun to be able to go to the store. I like physical copies of things, man. We have Flick Videos around here. That was what we had. And, yeah, man, we'd have, I loved going to the horror section, man. We would have so many just old school, don't even know what the hell this is, never even heard of it before, and just cruising through that, and maybe Mom will let me rent this, and she never would. But, I mean, that's where I found out about stuff like, that's the first place I ever heard of, Friday the 13th, or Halloween, or Freddy Krueger, Nail Gun Massacre. That's one I always wanted to rent, just because it looked so messed up, but, I mean, it's 80s crap, I'm sure. I never did get around to watching it. Be Kind Rewind, you know it, man. Yeah, they would charge us 50 cents if we didn't rewind it. Which is not that big a deal, but still. Yeah, we have it's a Salvation Army. Ours, we had a movie gallery? Which is right down the street in the town I'm in now. Well, not down the street, but it's off Main Street. And that place has sat abandoned for... before my kid was born, at least it's going on 10 years, if not there yet. And the last time I was in there, the only time I was in there, actually, they were giving away stuff for really, really cheap. They're giving away all their rentals. And what did I buy? I bought Yes Man, and I just pulled that out of here a minute ago. The Jim Carrey movie. So, Video Castle. I seems like I heard about that a lot, and we never had one around here, man. The local thing was the Flick Video. We had Movie Gallery and Movies with a big cow on it, and we would have Blockbuster, but it was not, you know, in the local area for me. It was always way up the mountain or something, like in Asheville. So yeah, yeah. I mean, that's how it is here. There's a lot of abandoned stuff everywhere. We've got so many. Only thing that seem to be popping up now are chain restaurants, which is like, I've lived in this county my whole life. I'm almost 32. And we're just now getting an Arby's. And it's the biggest deal in the world. And now if we can just get a Chick-fil-A, we'll be in... Which everyone seems to adore Chick-fil-A, and I'm just like... It's okay, I guess. But anyway, what else did I get in there? And this is just Big Lots and... What did I say? Dollar General. Check this one out. This is the Tom Savini Night of the Living Dead. Still haven't watched this yet. Like an idiot. I don't know why. I keep forgetting about it. What else? Check this out. And I don't care if you guys make fun of me or not. I love John Hughes movies. Breakfast Club rules. I don't know. Like I said, it's either 80s horror, comedy, 80s action movies, or feel-good movies. I guess feel-good movies / nostalgia. And I'm kind of like right on the cusp of this generation. Born in the 80s, I kind of remember it, but not really, if that makes sense. What else did I get there? There's another Big Lots haul. And they have Alien 3 there, which I started to get, but I'm like, well, I'd rather just have Alien 2 and then get Alien 3, which Alien 3 is not that good anyway, but it's okay. Another Big Lots, Hellraiser. Not Big Lots, but Dollar General. This is like $5. All these were like $5 or less. My buddy Adam just gave me this the other day. You can say what you want about Hostel. Yeah, torture porn, I guess. Oh, this one. Talking about John Hughes movies. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know it. You know it. I'm gonna drop all these. What else? Oh, I said I couldn't find Yes Man. There's Yes Man. So yeah, I got this from yeah, it's Movie Gallery. Still got the scanning tag on it, and there's the logo. And it says it's $14, but I know I didn't pay that much for it. So that must have already been. They probably marked it down and then marked it down again because they were just getting ready to go out of business. Yeah, I dropped it. Oh yeah. What am I thinking? That's like a, like what are the all-time movies like people talk about? Godfather, Casablanca, what else? Comment, tell me. You know, Citizen Kane, stuff like that, man. In the South, this is like Oscar nominated. I mean, seriously, everybody's seen this movie down here. Everybody knows this movie. I'm not, everyone knows it anyway, but, you know, it's just down here, it's like the, I don't know, it's an anthem. I was at my dad's house last weekend, or the weekend before, and I was like, because he said he, at one point, drove a truck, and he's very into cars and stuff. He's, you know, he works in auto body. He's a auto body repairman. And I told him, I was like, this movie must have been like, not the soundtrack, but just this, you know, the story. This is like the story of your life, isn't it? He just kind of gave me the, you know, like, shut up. But I mean, I could definitely, this is my dad in the 70s. He's definitely a 70s dude. Yeah. What else do I have? This is like not in that category whatsoever, but here's a, I think the director's cut of The Exorcist. The version you've never seen. I mean, it's whatever. Everyone knows that. One of my favorite things ever. This is awesome. The Good Sleepy Hollow. Yeah, it's animated and it's goofy, but I mean, it tells the story the best, I think. I've got this one, but you know, it's totally different. But these are like my favorite ghost stories. Not this, but Sleepy Hollow. I actually have a I have a tattoo idea. I would love to get it tattooed across my chest if I ever get around to it, but it's going to be like a big piece. And it's come from a shirt I have of Sleepy Hollow, which you may have seen it on the channel before. It was a long time ago. But if I could get it done just like that, maybe, slight variations to it, if I ever get around to it. I don't know what else to show you. Oh, here's the last one I picked up at those stores. Office Space, man. This is another $3 one, whatever it was. If you haven't seen Office Space, there's something wrong with you. You need to go watch this. Great movie, very underrated. I don't know what it is about Mike Judge's movies, man. Aside from Beavis and Butthead, Office Space is great. Idiocracy is great, and they're like, we're not gonna put those in theaters, or if we do, it's gonna be limited, which is like, why? I don't understand why they thought these just weren't gonna make money. I mean, considering Beavis and Butthead was huge at the time, or we're just kind of coming out of that craze of it. They should have at least been given the benefit of the doubt, but it's whatever. So yeah, all these, well, except for a couple of them, are ones that I just picked up for dirt cheap. So yeah, I really lucked out there. Damn, I've been buying some movies lately. That's probably why I've been not buying them. Well, just kind of, yeah. There's all that, man. And we got a whole shelf in the living room just full. I have this shelf over here. It's got like all my Simpsons and like some wrestling videos, skate videos, stuff like that. And everything else I got is just like my music DVDs, which I've seen them too many times. I don't even want to watch those anymore. So I'm gonna have to do a good hour pickup to clean this damn room up now. Those are like the main two topics I had. I was kind of planning on going at least an hour. If you guys want me to talk about anything or do anything, just let me know, man. I don't really know. Just kind of chilling, listening to Witch Trap. What song was this one? I don't even remember. Heart Thrashing Mania is one of my favorites. There's a King of the Hill comeback. I didn't hear nothing about that at all. I actually had the first 6 seasons of King of the Hill. I let a guy I work with borrow them. And this is the last straw. I used to be big on like letting people borrow my stuff, and it kept biting me in the ass, and I would never learn. At the time, he was arguing with his mom or something over some girl he was with, something crazy, and he never told me what happened to him, but I know he got thrown out of the house, and I know she just threw him and broke him or something. So yeah, first 6 seasons, I never saw those again. So anyone says, hey, can I borrow this? No! Not gonna happen. Whatever. So, that's where we're at there. Yeah, King of the Hill rules. Absolutely. It kind of went downhill for me, I think, after probably season 6. It was like, my favorite one was season 2, by far, it was the best one. Man, you had the paintball episode, which is my all-time favorite one. I guess because it had like the rock band down the street, the garage band, it just so gritty feeling, just, I don't know, there's something about a DIY, lo-fi, low-tech band first forming that I just love the aspect of that. I just love the raw quality and the pure doing it for joy, feeling of it. It's just great. That episode, it was funny too. The Halloween episode's on there where they go trick-or-treating and that gets banned because they had Hank had the Hank's Hell House or something. I don't know, it's funny. I just love season 2. And after that, it was like, you have a few good episodes and some horrible ones. Yeah, what was her name? God damn it. Hang on, I almost got it. Junie Harper, that was her name. Sally Field was great in that role. She's like quoting proverbs out of the Bible. Hank's like, get out of my house. Exodus. That's so stupid, but I love it. There's that one. There's where he went fishing with the crack. Ended up catching fish with all the crack rocks he was buying accidentally. That was great. Yeah, if your Digipack's getting trashed, mine will. I'll never get them back. He had the pimp one. Everyone thought he was a pimp. That was on season 2. We Matanya, I thought that's on the first season, I think, which I love that one too. The smoking episode's great. Or Hank goes up to light 2 cigarettes. You think he's going to give one to Peggy, and he just gives them both to her and lights 2 more and smokes them. The first season's really, really funny. The second one, I just liked it because the animation's not so bad and the writing was, like, really focused. And then it just started, I mean, really, you weren't going to top season 2 anyway. So season 3 is really when it started to go down. I mean, just because season 2, in my opinion, was so good. Yeah, that one was on there. The Ant Queen. Anyway, who's your favorite character? Everyone tell me your favorite character on King of the Hill. I love Cotton. Cotton cracks me up all the time. And I think this one was on the later seasons, but where he was having to go get his driver's license renewed, and then Hank had him switch the eye chart, and he found out about it. He's like, what do you got to say for yourself, boy? Just love that. Luke, you've never seen King of the Hill. You deserve that one. Of course, it is very, very, very American. It shouldn't matter, though. Yeah, when Cotton died, it was one of those, like, did he really die? Because they never really said he's dead. And the whole episode, he kept coming back when they thought he was dead. And then they never really talked about him much. But then later on, much later on, they had the episode where they were going to go... they wanted his ashes flushed down some toilet, which was definitely a continuity error because early on he went through all that trouble of getting his the plot in the cemetery when what was it? Peggy had fell out of the plane. Her parachute didn't open, and then he kind of by yelling at her and kind of army training her back to health. She helped him get his spot in the Texas State Cemetery. So I was like, okay, well, I thought that's what he was going to do. But now he wants his ashes flushed down in the toilet. He wasn't even going to be cremated. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. After about season 6, probably 7, I just hated the newer ones. And it was probably a little bit later on. What they have, like 12 seasons? Something like that. I don't recall. Let me change CDs real quick. I was going to put on some records, but I didn't really want to sit here and flip them all night. Because, that's just going to be annoying, having to keep getting up and getting up. Yeah, he was in the restaurant, and he started having a flashback, and he got up on the table where they were cooking the shrimp and stuff, and just fell on it and got burned. And I was like, well, how did that kill him? But I guess he was old or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. What are we going to listen to? I'm going to blindfold do it. I just listened to that on the video. We're going to talk about that one soon. I'll do a top shelf one. Everyone talks about that one. I'm about to knock something over. That'll work. I talk about them all the time. Arsis, Star for the Devil. Whole album about having an eating disorder. Music's good. Yeah, see, I didn't even find out Boomhauer was a Texas Ranger until much, much later. Whatever. What else? I don't know. Like I said, it's just I thought it went downhill quite a bit after the 5th or 6th season, 7, somewhere there. It just wasn't as good. I couldn't ever get into it. Yeah, Operation Walrus. What was that one? Where Bill was getting shot up with placebo. That was a funny one, though. They stole the tank. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't care for Lucky much either. It's about that time is when I stopped really enjoying it. When he showed up. I mean, and then him getting with Luann, it's like, well, I never saw that coming. I mean, yeah, they killed off Buckley at the end of the 3rd season. It's like, well, hell, he was funny. He was just such an idiot. Yeah. Let me start putting this crap up. What was your live stream about? Putting stuff away and lip syncing? I don't know how to party on a Friday night. Man, we are some awesome people. Every one of us. How many are watching? 8? We're some awesome non-loser people, I tell you that much. What'd you do Friday night? I watched Kevin put some stuff up. Awesome. We had such a good time. Was there drinking involved? Hell yeah, man. Energy drinks. We might as well have the Dungeons and Dragons shit out here right now. Even that's probably more exciting than this. Whatever. Well, I'll tell you what. Everyone used to say I could do a good Hank impression there for a while. And I got to where we have an intercom at work, you know, you need to get maintenance to come out and fix a machine or whatever. And you're supposed to be very, you know, precise and on point with it and just tell them what you need and not play around on it. But I got to where I was doing Hank voices all over the intercom all the time. I'll tell you what, man, we sure do need some maintenance out here to get this machine fixed. Speaking of rednecks, there's something I've been thinking about. I don't know how much this is going to upset some people, because I can see why it would upset people, but I don't mean it in an upsetting way. I honestly mean it in a, I would be very curious and interested in hearing those stories. I really would. I'm not bullshitting you at all. I would be like, that's really interesting if someone told me this. So here's kind of what I'm getting at. Yeah, hell with it. Okay, so I'm gonna get in trouble for this one. All right, it used to be in the South that, you know, everyone hates black people. Everyone's afraid of black people. Oh, that's a big thing, a big taboo. You don't hang out with black. You know, you've heard the whole story of the civil rights, everything, and now everything's cool, sort of. There's still lots of racial tension, but I mean, when you look at it from the 50s or 60s and compare it to now, it's like, wow, it's night and day. Everyone's cool. Everyone's getting along. And what I'm saying is, it's not a taboo thing anymore. It's just like, you know, what's the taboo thing is being against it still. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has really progressed and got forward. And what I'm getting at is, I can't wait till the day that being gay is on that level. You know what I mean? I mean, there's still the people that don't like it, obviously, but for the most part, no one cares. Everyone is so, yeah, whatever. I don't care. You be, you know, dang, look at that. Look at that ass over there. It's like, oh, I'm gay, actually. Well, look at that ass over there. No one cares. I can't wait till we get to that point. And here's why. Because eventually, you're going to have gay people, you're going to have rednecks come out as gay people. You know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. If you don't think it's going to happen, here's how I know. Because you have the most southern anti-gay preachers are always the ones who come out to be gay. They're the ones who get called out on it. The ones who are the most anti-gay are usually the most southern. That's how I see it anyway. And they're the ones who always get called. Oh, yeah, you were gay after all. And here's kind of what I'm getting at. You can't tell me you wouldn't be interested in this story. You can't tell me. I would be. So, you have rednecks are gay now. Not all of them, obviously, but, you know, some rednecks are going to come out as gay. Imagine this. You're sitting around, hey, what'd you do this weekend? Well, me and Ted was up there in the deer stand trying to get us a buck. I ain't got me a buck all year. Damn, Ted's got him 4 already. I'm, like, really trying to focus and get me a buck. And, you know, he's just bored, you know, because he don't even care no more. He's done got 4 of them. He's like, what do I need another one for? So, you know, he starts pestering me for sex. And I'm like, I'm trying to concentrate right now. And next thing I know, he just starts, well, let me give you heads. I was like, all right, you can suck on my dick a while. So I let him suck on my dick. You know, I'm kind of getting more relaxed, getting ready to, if I see a buck, you know, I can at least get up there and shoot it. And next thing I know, my dick starts burning. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And then I realized that, Ted, spit your dip out before you do that. Now my junk's all brown and burning, and I don't know what to do with this now. I done scared off all the deer. But I got him back, though, because he wants me to eat him out before, you know, we go to town, so I spit my dip in his ass. You can't tell me you wouldn't be at least interested in that story. I would be trying not to laugh, but at the same time, I'd be, then what happened? But I'm a progressive guy myself. I don't know how the rest of you would feel about it. That's just me. Yeah, you came in at the wrong time, Tyler. Or maybe the right time, depending on how you want to look at it. Anyway, that's just kind of how I feel about that. It's just something I've been thinking about. And the funny thing is, everyone I tell that to, they're the ones who are looking at me all funny, like, and they're the ones who are the most redneck. So, progressive in state of mind, not music. If you want to talk about progressive music, this is like the one thing I really say I listen to, and it's not very often. And that's only because it's mainly on the death metal side. But whatever. Yeah, I should have pulled a Wyatt and got drunk. I'd have probably at least been a little bit more entertaining than this. Yeah. South Park. Oh, we can talk some South Park now. Favorite South Park episodes. I gotta go check on something. Just send me a link. Or not a link, but, comment. Anyway. And I missed everything. I don't know what anybody posted. Sorry. I will go through it, I promise you. And that's another thing, man. What's cool about South Park, I love how they've got their own channel. Or not channel, but you can watch the episodes on the website. Most of the time for free, but I mean, you got, like, they usually keep the good stuff on Hulu. And, which I would get a Hulu, but I mean, at the same time, my Netflix account just got messed up. That wouldn't work, so, yeah. Yeah, the long sleeve, man. I got this at the Cannibal Corpse show when I saw them. And if you're going to get a long sleeve, get one a size bigger than what you normally wear, because it's nice and loose and just much more comfortable. Why is it blocked in the UK? Please tell me. Because it's vulgar. I'll send Team America over there to see if they can't fix that problem for you. Anyway. I'll just go ahead and say this. Favorite characters in South Park. This might say a lot about who I am as a person. Or it's just going to seem weird. Okay, Randy. I love Randy. He's by far my number one. But just below that are, probably tied, Mr. Garrison, Mr. Slave, Satan. I think they're the funniest ones on there, without a doubt. Garrison just cracks me up all the time. I guess it's because he's so sick and depraved, but just the way he talks, too, is so funny. Come on, Slave, let's get back to our flippity-floppity-flop. No, don't call it that. This is stupid. Burzum or Mayhem? Burzum. Mr. Pickles I did enjoy, and I've just not caught anything outside the first season. I knew they were going to bring it back, but now I have to be in bed on Sunday night by 10 o'clock, so I don't ever get to catch it. And Mr. Mackey's great as well. I just don't ever... I forget to DVR it half the time, so maybe I'll get back. I don't even know if it's came back yet. I'm just kind of assuming it has. So, yeah. Yeah. We're nearing 45 minutes. You guys got anything else? I'll prepare next time. Seriously, yeah, I didn't like the whole tweaking Craig thing. Let me rephrase. I don't like the way they're doing it in the later seasons, just where it's all, one continuous episode. I liked it better when they focused on one thing and then just kind of, I mean, yeah, that's just kind of how every sitcom ever has been done. I don't know. I mean, it's just, and it's not just been these last few seasons. It's not been the last 2 or 3. It's been like the last 4 or 5. I've just not cared about. It's not been as good to me. There's one or 2 or 3 episodes in a season I really like. The rest of it is just, that's okay. Yeah, the whole PC Principle part is where I just stopped really caring. I mean, I've tried to go back and watch them, but they don't make me laugh as much as the older ones did. Like the Warcraft episode. Put me on the spot. I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Guitar Hero one. I love that one. I really like the one where Stan became... that was a 2-part episode where he became all cynical towards everything. I really like that one. Yeah, it just got to the point where I just didn't care about it. Not to say that it wasn't funny. I'll still laugh at certain things, but it's just not the same as the older ones. Well, and that's the thing too with the Mecha Streisand, Luke. I just didn't care for the really early episodes, and maybe it's just where the animation is so horrible. So I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you there. But if that's another thing we could talk about next week, if the guy who said he was going to come is going to show up. So if he does, we'll talk about some South Park, because we talked about South Park all the time. So it's just going to be a big, mess of just rambling about South Park probably. But I have one story in particular that I need him here to tell, and which I've told it before, but it's just better off with two people, I think. Ooh, there's Beyond Forlorn. Listen to Arsis if you dudes haven't. It's like Tech Death done the right way. It's not overly techy. It's techy, but it's done to emphasize the song, not to say, hey, look how good we are. Look how technical a piece I can play. It's not like Origin. Everything is got a lot of groove to it. It's just really hook oriented, but you can tell it's like there's no way I can play that shit. And this is honestly probably the last album I liked. I remember when Unwelcome came out, I didn't care for it as much, which I probably need to go back and re-listen to that. But yeah, Beyond Forlorn, Closer to Cold, Sable Rising. Go check out those songs. Really good stuff. I'm not knocking techie stuff, and Dying Fetus is another good example, but I mean, even that for me is just too technical anymore. I don't know, maybe I just listened to Dying Fetus so much I just couldn't stand it anymore. Yeah, so much where I'm missing like 3 albums and I'm not going back to get any of it. I like Defeated Sanity too. I mean, it's just there's a very, very fine line where, and okay, there's a fine line on where I'm going to like it, where I'm not going to like it, and it's also just going to depend on my mood. So yeah, Defeated Sanity, I've got these two. I still need to go back and get some of their older ones. The guy who's coming actually is the one who ruined this, so I'll give him hell about that. But these are the two I have. I never got the new one. What was it? Darmetta. Still need Prelude to the Tragedy, and whatever that other one's called. Dying Cletus. Well, that's definitely some good shit. But yeah, me anymore. I mean, around the time I started the channel, my main stuff was like, Dying Fetus and like the mainstays of old school death metal. But now it's kind of getting like to more 80s stuff, old school thrash, Psalms of the Moribund. That's it. Like 80s thrash. I barely even listen to black metal anymore. That was the main thing. It was old school death, like the Deicide, Cannibal, Suffocation, all that, and just black metal. And now, whereas I'm still listening to a lot of old school stuff, I'm getting more into, like I said, the 80s, mainly like the Creator and stuff like that, or just like the 80s sound, like the more harsh, evil 80s thrash. Because I'm getting ready to, when I do my 7-inch video, which will probably be out this coming Tuesday, hopefully, which I'm going back and reviewing all these. I got a one in there. It's more along the lines of like a Testament or stuff like that. It's suicidal tendencies, or so along those lines. So there's definitely different versions of 80s thrash. So I don't want to paint with a broad brush because it's not like that. I'm getting into Crest. I'm getting a lot of Doom lately. Yeah, man, it's a lot different. If you go back and watch, just go back and, don't go watch my first videos because they're horrible, but if you were to do that, take like the first 10 videos and then take my last 10 videos, you can see what a difference it is just over 2 years. So that's kind of how I've always been. Yeah, crust punk is something I've never really dug into, and it's the same thing with Doom. I know very little about it. And at the same time, I'm trying to get into the sludge stuff. Barely know any bands there. I mean, my mains have been, the death metal, the thrash, the black metal, and that's just to paint it broadly. So, yeah, speaking of Electric Wizard, there's a band on Bandcamp that I'm really hoping will put out a physical copy of their, I guess it's a full length, but it's only a digital, but it's great. It's called Witch Goat, and I think the album's called The Witch Goat or something like that. Just look up Witch Goat, man. If you like Stoner Doom, that's some great shit right there. In terms of the sludge right now, it's just the main stuff. I Hate God, Weed Eater, Acid Bath, that kind of thing. I've got some stuff in here. It's just not much. I would definitely need to go pick up all the Weed Eater albums. There for a while, I think Season of Mist had them all for a decent price on vinyl, and I never got around to getting them. So, Ten of Swords, I forgot that's a good song as well. Might as well go a full hour. High on Fire was a band that I don't know why I couldn't get into it. So maybe if I go back now, I might dig it pretty good. Just at the time, I never really cared for it. I have a song on a sampler. I think it's on a Relapse sampler. Razorhoof, I think was the name of it. I don't know what album that's on or anything. And that's about the extent of my High on Fire. Oh, that's another thing I was going to talk about. Who said something about shows? Somebody said something about shows. Shows. There are some shows coming around, but I'm not going to get to make any of them just because I am married with a child with a full-time job and I have house payments to make. So it's really kind of hard to, just make a conscious effort to go to a show without burning vacation days and all that kind of thing. So I do have a show coming up in July, which is going to be Invocation Spells and Outline. That's on a Sunday, so I should be able to make that. But there's also the Morbid Angel Tour's first stops in Charlotte, so I could go to that, but it's Morbid Angel and Origin and Misery Index is the only one in there that I haven't seen, and the two other ones I didn't really know who they were anyway. So that's just kind of the thing. Yeah, the Watain Destroyer show I could have went to, but I mean that's all the way on the other side of the state. And if that had been a weekend show, I'd have went to that for sure. My brother lives over there, so I could have, kind of crashed out at his house and came back the next day. To be honest, I don't even know if it's came through here yet. I know it was like a Wednesday show, and I wasn't going to be able to make it. It was in Greensboro, so it's either gone through, whenever it was, or if it's not happened yet, I just forgot about it because it was going to be at a time where I couldn't go. So that would have been a show I would have went to. There was another tour, the Weed Eater show. That's April 7th. You know what? I might just try to go do that, to be quite honest with you. There's a Weed Eater show in Spartanburg. I believe it's April 7th, so I might have to sneak off to that one. I probably won't end up getting to, but because I really want to see the Invocation Spells and Outline show. I doubt I'll be able to do both. See, if you're going to get married, you got to make sacrifices. If you're going to have a kid, you got to make more. If you're going to buy a house, you got to make even more. Your whole life is about sacrifice, but it's well worth it in the end. Trust me. Yeah, I saw you post some crust stuff. I will get to that at some point, I promise you. I'll look it up, man. There's just so much stuff I'm looking up right now. There's a lot of stuff popping up on Bandcamp that I'm trying to buy. Been listening to a lot of, like I said, The Witch Goat, Unrequited, with a V, however you say that properly. What did I buy today? That Veiled album was really good. A Feather and Bone, bought that one. The Untar album. There's all kinds of stuff on there. Yeah, I heard Pissgrave's making a new one, which, it's pathetic. I just now got around to buying that. I mean, I've listened to it forever, but, I was like, you know what? It's finally time to buy this. I don't know why. It's like every time I went to pull the trigger on it, I'd find something else. This is my song on this album, though. Closer to Cold. We'll crank it up a little bit. Man. Arsis, I was into them probably around 2009, 10, 11. That's kind of when my love for them kind of took off. Actually, right about the time it was announced that Ryan Knight was leaving them to go to the Black Dahlia murder, it was about the time I started getting into Arsis. Yeah. Tech Death in general. The only thing I remember about that is buying As Blood Runs Black at the same time. And that's where that came from. I don't know why. A Valse I would love to see, and it seemed like they were playing around here not that long ago. I really don't recall, so I'll turn that down because I'm tired of hollering. I've been talking for a damn hour. Look at this. I swear, I poked it and popped it. And this is gross. But yeah, when you're in your 30s, you can still get acne. That's probably because, I'm eating more because I quit smoking, and that's not helping. So, Destroying Texas Fest is always good, man. I've got a flyer in here for it just because. Oh man, the Nashville show. What is the name of that? Death on Nashville or something like that. Man, that show, which is like, it's the weekend of my wife's birthday, and I was like, there's no way I can do that band, but I think Abysmal Lord's playing it. I think Morbosadad or Sacro Curse, or maybe both are playing it. I don't remember. Helvatron's playing. Who else is playing that? I mean, there's so many good bands playing that, and I was like, well, Nashville is like 6 hours away, so that's kind of a drive. But it was a 2-day festival, so I'd have to get a hotel. And then it just became like, it's on the worst possible, one of the worst possible weeks it could be. So, yeah, I'm going to have to pass up on that as well. So, yeah. Yeah, that fest is just amazing. But it's like, can you come like come on into Asheville instead of Nashville? Yeah, whatever. I would have went otherwise. Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day. I want to start trying to prepare these because I would really like to make this as much as I can a Friday thing, and I will get some topics on here. I'll just make a good list of it. A lot of things we can discuss. I would love to have guests on here quite a bit. I will try my best to get him here next week, and it'll be a lot more entertaining. He said he would do it, but he's one of the hardest people to get a hold of, so we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, I'll try to at least let you know if we're going to have another one or not, or, whatever. We'll see how it goes. So, yeah, thank you, everyone who has been coming by to watch. I know it's been just a shit show, but, I mean, that's all it ever is anyway. It's just a live stream. Whatever. Having a good time. If you guys want to give me some comments or whatever on stuff you want me to talk about, or, I mean, because we can talk about anything here. I mean, this is kind of a, just keep it low and keep it low. Keep it low key and just whatever, man. We're just riffing. It's whatever. Yeah, that thought went absolutely nowhere. I have that problem now. See, that's why I can't carry these things on my own. But anyway, yeah, we'll try to do this next week. Hopefully I can get the guy here. It'll be our first guest. I would love to get my friend Kyle on here, man. We'd have such a good time. Thanks, Ed. I appreciate that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'll quit rambling. Thanks, guys. I do have a video coming up probably Tuesday if I can get this done. I'm going to try my best to record it tomorrow. I've still got 2 more of these 7 inches I need to go back and re-listen to just to get notes on that. So that'll probably take up most of the day tomorrow, compiling all that. Plus watching these movies, man. So yeah, hopefully it'll be out Tuesday. If not Tuesday, then by Wednesday, certainly, I would say. And then we'll go into Friday, and hopefully I can do another live stream. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for hanging out with me. I'll see you at some point. Later.